Hi guys, and welcome back to Scribe Gaming. I'm your man Scribe, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Alrighty, so yesterday, beyond all expectations, CG went ahead and dropped a kit reveal for Admiral Raddus, and it's a Rogue One character. I think we better take a look. Alrighty, so let me I think I'll pop over here real quick. So our boy Tuscan Meathead, temporary EA community manager, dropped us the kit reveal and the dev insights for Admiral Raddus, and I'll gotta be honest guys, I was not expecting this one. We do know we are getting at least another 4, I want to say, marquees coming out sometime in the near future, as we had those kit reveals sort of, or at least the packs for those kits data mined some weeks ago. But I was not expecting General Raddus, or Admiral Raddus rather, to actually be one of them. So, light side, support Rebel, Rogue One, and Leader. I think it's interesting that they're doing Rogue One. So, what can we see? Basic ability, protective shot. I like the kit, we're getting into the kit. I like the design of the actual texture pack here. It looks like a quite high poly model here. I'm quite impressed. Whether that is what makes it into the final game, don't know. We'll find out soon enough. Nothing too special about the animation though. Final text, deal special damage to the target enemy and grant the weakest ally protection up 20% for 2 turns. Protection up is always nice. We like that. Special one, inspiring maneuver with a cooldown of 6, and this is his first Zeta. So let's take a look at the animation. Looks like it's a mass assist. We like mass assists. All rebel allies gain protection up 50% for 2 turns and recover 35% max protection. Love this. Protection up for 50%, 35% max protection. Recovery is fantastic. That's a lot of banner recovery for GAC. All allied tanks gain taunt for 2 turns. Interesting, it's not rebel tanks, it's all tanks gain taunt for 2 turns. And all Rogue One allies gain Spark of the Rebellion for 3 turns, which cannot be copied. And call all Rogue One allies to assist. So the mass assist is only for Rogue One allies. If the target enemy is dark side and debuffed, increase their cooldowns by 1, which does not apply to Galactic Legends. If all allies are Rogue One, reduce the cooldown of Inspiring Maneuver by 2. So obviously they're trying to really push that Rogue One synergy. So this new buff, Spark of the Rebellion, which applies to all your Rogue One allies, means you gain 40% offense and 30 speed. When this character attacks, recover 20% max health and protection. That's nice. Empire enemies defeated by this character, while this buff is active, cannot be revived. So clear anti-Iden Versio synergy here. If Spark of the Rebellion is dispelled, gain 40% turn meter, 5% upload progress. Upload is obviously for the data transfer that we saw with the Outrider, and protection up 50% for 2 turns. Okay, that's nice. So, I mean, they gain Spark of the Rebellion for 3 turns. 3 turns to try and take out some of the Iden Versio characters. Should work against Iden, so you should be able to just focus her down at the start, which is nice. And if it does get dispelled, we gain a bunch of TM, we gain a bunch of upload progress and protection up, which is nice. Special 2, Blue Squadron Air Support. This one has a cooldown of 3. Again, quite a nice animation, but nothing too special. Dispel all debuffs from all light side allies. So a cleanse is always nice. Deal special damage to all enemies. If Admiral Raddus is in the leader slot, not the ally slot, gain 5% upload progress, and if this ability defeats an enemy, gain an additional 8%. Alright, it's decent. We'll have to wait and see what the damage is like on it. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. He has a leader, obviously, with an Omicron. Unclear if it also has a Zeta. Can't quite tell at this point. We'll have to wait for further kit reveal. Final text. For each Rogue One ally at the start of battle, Rogue One allies gain 10% health, 12% potency, 8 speed, and 12% tenacity. So already this seems like a kit that's going to suffer a little bit in 3v3 in comparison to its 5v5 counterparts. But in a full Rogue One squadron in 5v5, you're going to be gaining, what, 50% health, 60% potency, 40 speed, and 60% tenacity. Tenacity is okay, I guess. I mean, that will help somewhat with countering Iden Versio. She obviously starts with 100% TM and will always start with that stun. So if you can build up enough tenacity in your team to resist, that might be useful. When an Empire ally gains bonus turn meter, they are inflicted with daze for 2 turns. So that kind of deliberately goes against Iden Versio teams. Obviously, you're going to be opening with this inspiring maneuver in order to start getting out that Spark of Rebellion on your team. That is going to cause a mass assist, which is going to in turn cause Iden Versio teams to gain turn meter, which in turn is going to trigger a daze, an unresistible daze on the enemy team. Nice. It's obviously clearly designed to hard counter Iden Versio teams. If a Rogue One ally is critically hit by an enemy, that enemy gains Expose for 2 turns, which is irresistible. Nice. While in Grand Arenas, Rogue One gains 40% max protection. That's obviously going to feed into that bonus protection that they get. Note that bonus protection is based on max health, not max protection, but there's also 35% protection recovery, which is nice. At the start of battle, all Rogue One allies gain Spark of the Rebellion for 3 turns. Lovely, so they're going to start with that 40 speed, they're going to start with that 30% offense, which is nice, and they'll be able to insta-kill an enemy. Permanently kill enemies while that buff is up. When Spark of the Rebellion is dispelled on an ally, they gain crit chance up, crit damage up, defense up, health up, offense. They basically gain all of the buffs for 2 turns, which was nice. And he does have another Zeta, so at least 2 Zetas here, guys. Uncertain whether or not his leadership is also a Zeta. I imagine it probably is, but we'll have to wait and see. Transmission from Scarif. Now this is obviously playing into the Outrider transmission as well. Admiral Raddus gains 30% defense and 40% tenacity. So already this guy in a 5v5 has got 100% tenacity, which is going to make it quite easy to, make it a lot easier to resist an opening stun from Iden Versio. If Jyn Erso is an ally, she gains Spark of the Rebellion at the start of the encounter, and when Jyn Erso loses it, she gains it for 3 turns. So basically, Jyn Erso is permanently got Spark of the Rebellion. When Admiral Raddus is alive, Jyn Erso cannot be defeated. Interesting. So you have to try and kill Raddus first. It's kind of like the opposite of Iden Versio, where you have to kill everybody else first. This one is you have to kill Raddus first. If Raddus is in the leader slot, he gains the granted ability Hope. Raddus gains 1% upload progress for each detrimental effect resisted by a Rogue One ally, which is nice. Obviously, all that additional tenacity that he's passing to the team is going to it's going to help speed up the upload progress. Whenever Rogue One ally deals damage to an enemy with Expose, Raddus gains 1% upload process for each Expose stack on that enemy. Whenever a Rogue One ally uses a special ability, Raddus gains 2%. So basically, this unique is all about boosting the upload progress. Once he hits 100%, he does get a bonus turn, which is great because it's not there's no way to stop that bonus turn from activating short of being fractured or maybe isolated. I'm not sure. So Hope, limit once per battle, requires 100% upload progress. So when you maxed out that upload progress, you get a bonus turn, the ability Hope, okay? So it's a mass revive, and they recover full health and protection, and then you do an AoE damage to all enemies, inflicting protection disruption, which basically strips protection and exposes the health straight away. Lands heal immunity for 4 turns, which cannot be dispelled, evaded, or resisted. Heal immunity for 4 turns is huge, guys. And it does true damage to all enemies. That's pretty sick. So this is what it looked like. You get that buff, you do an AoE, lovely. Final text, limit once per battle, requires 100% upload. Yeah, we've just read that. Okay, cool. That's actually pretty cool, guys. That is a pretty cool kit. There's a lot of things that we can unpack about this. Mainly, if we think about it, CG, we know, like I said, guys, that we're going to get more marquees coming in the future. They're not just stopping. What we have noticed about CG recently with their releases is it's less about building towards new GLs. They're not going back and backfilling, a bunch of legacy characters and asking us to take them up to Relic 7 and 8 and all this sort of business. They are rounding out the entire roster. This is very similar to the Iden Versio release. Came out of nowhere, not necessarily tied to anything else, but it encourages us to gear up lesser used characters. We're talking like Magma Guard, we're talking, like Stormtrooper, we're talking, well, I suppose a lot of people would have like range and death, but they wouldn't necessarily have a place to fit them. Now, Rogue One has not been meta. That's the sentence. Rogue One has not been meta. But a number of people, particularly those with older accounts, will have had them geared up to a decent level, and maybe this Raddus release is going to give them a little bit more viability. What they're doing, though, is they're releasing new kits and new characters that produce new problems in GAC. Iden's Omicron is a pain. They've released a literal counter to it in the same manner. They're bolstering old, unused characters, forcing us to think, actually guys, maybe it's worth taking these guys to Relic 5 just so we can counter Iden Versio. And of course it's an Omicron, and of course it applies in GAC. So I think we can expect to see more releases like this, less releases that are big build-ups to GLs. That's probably the status quo at the minute. I don't think we've seen the last of GLs. I'm kind of expecting us to see more of this sort of stuff, guys. Okay, overall, I think this kit is fun, looks good, definitely going to have viability in GAC, not necessarily one you want to rush for immediately. It is a good solid counter to Iden Versio and probably has a lot of viability in other areas or against other teams. However, I would not call it a priority one unless you already have very well geared Rogue One. Perhaps you've already invested and have high relic rebel ships for your Cassian and your Bistan U-Wings. Seems like fun. I'm excited to see what we're getting next. Until the next video, guys. Peace out.
Just giving a quick shout out to my patrons. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and without your support, I wouldn't be doing this today. Thanks so much.